episode 11. This is the Hello, It's Me, IAmKNicole podcast, and I'm your host, K Nicole. So let's go ahead and jump into our recap. So last week we celebrated my 1-year anniversary for Smudge, and we took a walk down memory lane for my 1 year in business recap. So make sure you check that out if you haven't seen or heard that episode already. I launched my first eyeshadow palette, my Cloud 9 palette. I also relaunched my Hello It's Me collection. This collection is called Hello It's Me Again, okay? And all of the glosses are on sale for $1 during my anniversary. So yeah, make sure you go and check that out. I also restocked all of my lashes and my new lash boxes. So go shop Smudge, okay? Go shopping. Have a good time. Splurge a little bit. Stock up on what you need because it's only $1 for these glosses, and they're in my new Fat Wand tubes, and they're amazing. So make sure you are shopping. If you haven't seen it already, I released the trailer and the first 2 episodes to my docuseries, and then there was Smudge. So this series is just going to show you kind of where it all started for Smudge, and I wanted to put this out for my anniversary because I wanted you to see why I'm so emotional right now, just looking back a year ago to where I started. So you're going to see like how it all unfolds, how I started this business and how I built it from the ground up. So make sure you check that out. I have my 20K giveaway going, you guys. We are almost to 20K on YouTube. I cannot believe it. So make sure you enter the giveaway and just stay tuned because there's going to be more giveaways in the future. There's going to be more cool things going on. And 20K is just a huge milestone. So we're almost there. Super excited about it. And that leads me into my next thing. If you are watching this on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Also, follow me on all the podcast platforms and leave me a rating and a review on Apple Podcasts. What else is going on? Crochet by K. You guys, I am making clothes for the fall season. Okay, make sure you are stocking up on your shags and on your sweaters. And today, this is fall season, so I want to talk about this. I am drinking my Teamy Blends tea today, you guys. I have Teamy Energy today in my Teamy tumbler. If you're on YouTube, you can see me. If you're not, go look at it on YouTube so you can see me. I really love this blend, you guys, and I made it today on my IG stories. So make sure you are following me on my personal Instagram page to see all of my favorite Teamy recipes. But I do have a discount code for you guys. You can use code KNicole20 at checkout to save 20% on your orders of $40 or more. Y'all, Teamy Blends is where it's at, so make sure you check them out. I always have all the links down below in my description box. Lastly, I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves and your mental health this week. I know this election has had different effects on different people, but just make sure you're taking care of yourself. I know the media is super crazy right now. All right, so that is it for the recap. I want to go ahead and introduce my guest for today. So today I have my new friend, Alfred Nomad here, and Alfred is a music artist and an activist based out of LA. Alfred started out as a poet and he began putting his lyrics into songs. Okay. Alfred has released several projects independently and he has opened up for some cool people in the music industry. He's even headlined his own US tour and annual festival. So let's go ahead and give Alfred a warm welcome. Hey, Alfred.
How you doing? How's it going, Kori Nicole? You doing good today?
I'm doing well. I'm really excited to be here and I'm excited to have you here with me. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself to my viewers and let them know a little bit about you before we jump into today's topic.
Sure. I'm Alfred Nomad. I am an artist, a curator, activist. I started my own brands and uh, platforms for all of the different types of creativity I do. I love making music with hip hop and lyricism, but I also like to create live experiences, different visual art, and creating a space for other people to be able to do what they love as well and be able to highlight a lot of dope people and create forms of inclusion. And I currently am working on I have a project out right now called the Everything Will Be All Right project and initiative focusing on mental health, self-care, and community. So that's been a big thing that I've been about lately. So that's a little bit about me. I'm sure you have more questions, but I guess that's the little introduction.
Yes, for sure. So we're just going to jump right into it. Okay. So today's topic for the show is everything will be all right. Like just take care of
Nice.
yourself. This is something that we should always be doing, but especially now. And this week has been a crazy week, okay? This election and just everything that's going on in the world right now, the climate that we are in right now, it can be very challenging to stay calm, to take care of yourself, to, just take that step back. So I definitely thought it would be beneficial to talk about self-care, why it's important, mental health, and some of our self-care routines. And we're going to talk about you and how you got started out as well. So let's just jump right in. I
Let's
would
do it.
love to just start off by talking about you and how you got started in music.
Got you. I started out. You kind of mentioned it. I started out writing poetry.
Mm-hmm.
had no intention of making music at all. It was kind of just a release for me. It was. I realize now it was a form of therapy for myself, and I didn't realize it. But I always wrote poetry that rhymed just because it made sense to do it that way.
Yeah.
And I was like winning awards and stuff for it. And I had two older cousins that were at the time they produced and made their own music in their house, and I would be around them a lot. And they were like, "You write these poems and stuff, and you rhyming already. Like you should rap." And they made me rap to a beat that they made. And back then, we literally were like recording on a boombox, like we were rapping into a boombox and just
Mm.
recording that. But ever since the first time I wrote a verse to a song and recorded it, I fell in love with it, and I just kept doing it from there. And pretty much every day or any day that I could, I was making music.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really cool. You know how it used to be back in the day? Like
Mhm.
the boom box? I used to have a boom box.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Are you talking about like a
I used to call
karaoke?
I used to call it a boom box, but it was really a karaoke machine.
That's what's
Yeah,
asking. You talking about
yeah.
like
The
a
one.
karaoke you used to swap into, or is it just like an actual boombox?
No, it was like an actual like one. It was like a little one. It was probably like this big. It was one of those smaller, but it was a boom box. But it was like one of those smaller
Yeah.
speaker boom boxes, and we literally would put a tape in there, press play and record, and then
Mhm.
had a beat playing and rap into the boom box, and then you could play it back. Like that's taking it way back,
Right.
but that's when I was like a early teen, like maybe 11, 12 years old. But
Mhm.
that was like my first time recording. And then from there, like they had Fruity Loops and different programs to be able to record on a computer, and we actually got a mic, and then it just kind of kept going from there.
I was about to say, what is Fruity Loops?
What?
It,
That's
it's
crazy.
a program to make beats on, but you can I think you can no I don't know if you can record in Fruity Loops, but either way, it's a place to a lot of producers started making beats on Fruity Loops. I
Have you
feel
heard
like
FL Studios?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I
I
was
don't
about to
know
say.
anything about this.
Pretty much
okay,
every
yeah, FL
every
Studio
producer
is
like
Fruity
it
Loops
started. Yeah.
basically. Yeah, that's
Mm, good to know. See, this is why I surround myself with people like this because I'm always learning. Okay.
Hmm.
If you can't learn from your squad, then you need a new squad. You can't
yeah. You
you
gotta
can't just be stagnant like that. So yeah.
gotta learn every day. So now you know.
Yeah, for sure. So how did you come up with your name? Alfred Nomad. How did you come up with that?
So Alfred is my actual government name. I'm
Mm-hmm.
named after my father, and Nomad is basically my lifestyle. I've moved around a whole lot in my life, so I consider myself from Indianapolis, Indiana, but I've lived several places. So I've
Oh my
had a
gosh, really?
nomadic life.
Where
Yeah,
have you
yeah.
been?
I was born in D.C. My family lived in Maryland for my super younger years. Then we moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Then we moved to upstate New York, and then my mother, and my sister moved to Indianapolis, Indiana, and then I went to Atlanta for college, and then just a little less than 3 years ago, I moved to LA.
Oh
So
yeah, you've been everywhere. What college did
kinda,
you go to?
I went to Clark Atlanta University, CAU. Yeah,
Okay.
cause are you
Period.
AUC? You're AUC, right?
No.
Mhm.
You're not. What school did you go to?
We went to SCAD.
SCAD. That's right.
Yeah,
SCAD.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Right.
But
Right.
I definitely did tour Clark Atlanta because I really did. I really wanted to I wanted to stay in Atlanta at first because I was like, I'm an only child, so I didn't really want to go far from home because I wasn't really used to, not being around the people that I'm used to being around. So I was like,
Mm,
oh, I can just go to school in Atlanta. It'll be fine. I can stay on campus. I'm far enough from home, but I'm still home because my parents live on the outskirts.
yeah,
So it was like an hour from the city. And I'm like, that's good. I can still go back if I want to, but still far enough for me to feel like I went somewhere. But
got you. It was the complete opposite for me, kind of like because I moved to Indianapolis from New York,
mhm.
and when I got there, the other kids that I was around, I was in middle school at this point, and they all were like, "Why'd you move here? Like you were in New York. Like why are you here?"
Mhm.
And it was kind of like from that moment, I was like, "I'm gonna end up leaving here whenever I can." And but I love Indianapolis. I love the people there. But I knew I had seen other places. I knew there was other things outside of that city. And
Mhm.
as soon as I graduated high school, the only two colleges I applied for were Morehouse and Clark.
Period.
Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, and I took a. It's interesting. I took a like a college prep class
Mhm.
in my high school, and it suggested that I go to these one of these schools or whatever, and those were only two I applied for. So my father actually lives in Fayetteville, Georgia,
Okay.
so I had somebody there. So, but yeah, those are the only two schools I even applied to college for. So I knew I was gonna end up going somewhere else.
Wow. Yeah. See, I'm from New Jersey originally. Look,
Okay, word.
in New Jersey.
Okay, I see you. I see you. All
I'm
right.
from New Jersey originally, so everyone just knew like I was gonna go to college in New York. They're like, oh, she's gonna go back home, closer to home and go to fashion school up there. And I'm like, I do not want to go to New York.
Why not?
I don't know. Well, first of all, I didn't want to be that far. I was like, there, I'm gonna be stuck there. Like, I'm not gonna be able to come home until it's time for me to come home. So I didn't like that about it. And I literally don't know anyone up there. Like nobody.
Oh,
And I don't know, it's just too far. I don't really want to be up north like that anymore. I'm so used to being here in the South. So I'm like, I don't want to go that far. I'm not trying to go back up north. So I was like, no, let me find another school because I studied fashion marketing. So I was really trying to look for a really nice art school to go to, and SCAD is like always popping up as number one. But even Clark has a fashion program, so that's why I ended up touring there because I was
okay.
interested in that too. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
HBCU, I can get fashion, I can get culture, I can get everything that I need. But
Yeah.
it just didn't end up working out, and I applied to SCAD, and that was a whole journey. Um, but yeah, that's
Scat's a
really
good
cool.
school.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great. Wouldn't trade it for the world. Um,
What was your major in at Clark?
What was my major at Clark?
Yeah.
It was I was mass communications.
Okay.
mm,
So like radio, television was like my focus.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, mass communications. So it worked out. I was trying to actually find something that I would enjoy as much as I did making music or something that made
Mhm.
sense within entertainment. My favorite job working for somebody else was working at a radio station. I worked at the jazz radio station pretty much throughout the whole time I was in college. I interned as soon as I got there as a freshman.
That's
And
what's
I,
up.
I got on the payroll by my sophomore year, and I was working for the radio and TV station over
That's so
there. But
cool.
that was the funnest job I've ever had. Yeah,
What were you doing
so
there? Were you like programming or?
I did everything from working at the front desk to I did like the weather and the news on the air before,
What?
like writing short stories. I was a yeah I was the producer for like a double syndicated show between the TV station and the radio station. So I moved around, and I worked in the like raising fundraising. Like I did everything you could do probably in like the radio realm at least. But yeah, it was fun though, because you just everybody's pretty chill or cool, and you just get to be around music, and nobody's really bothering you like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a nice job. So I enjoyed it.
Were
I
you an artist during this time too, or were you like just doing music on the side?
On the side, I mean, while I was in school, I was in like a couple rap groups. I was doing like every talent show at the school and doing whatever like little showcases and stuff around the city, and just trying to figure it out. So in the meantime.
I can just imagine Alfred like giving me the weather of the day.
Oh,
Yeah, it was cool because like my dad, he lived in Georgia, so he would be in the morning on his way to work or wherever. He could listen to me. He could wake up listening to me in the morning. So that was kind of cool.
that's what's
That
up.
is
He could feel like I
cool.
was doing something.
I wish I knew somebody that was on the news station.
Luckily, nobody. It was like the jazz station, so none of my friends was trying to get me to plug them or nothing on there.
That's
But that was
hilarious.
cool though. It was a cool experience though.
It sounds like it. I feel like I'm getting to know you even more now. So let's talk about some of your projects. I feel like a lot of your music right now, it really aligns with what is going on right now in this
Mhm.
climate that we're living in. Um, Everything will be all right. How did that all start?
It started while I was actually starting to record for another project, another album that I was working on. But it was just real life stuff was happening. I
Mm-hmm.
was transitioning and having tough times with certain things, and even with especially moving out here to LA was like super tough. If you haven't lived out here before, if you have, you know it's super expensive out here, and I moved out here dang near with nothing, like my wife and and it was really tough. And plus, we were like newly married, and dealing with all of those things at one time can be really tough.
Mm-hmm.
And just trying to like working as many odd jobs as I could. And honestly, I was telling myself everything will be right. It was a mantra I kept telling myself to kind of get through things. And the music that because music kind of imitates life. I wasn't in the mood of the project that I was making. I was making this. I was trying to make this like upbeat album, that not isn't really focused on anything like that. But I had all this real life stuff going on, and the music I ended up making during that time was kind of gearing towards that. And that mantra I kept telling myself, it kind of ended up matriculating itself into a project. And as I was getting through this, it was a form of therapy for me, and I realized I learned more about mental health and and I figured it would be a good way to help other people too with this because I feel like other people needed to have that sort of mantra as well or that type of motivation too. So yeah, that's kind of how it started.
For sure. I feel that. I was listening to it the other day again because
Would you
I
Would you think?
listened to it. I started listening to it when, we first started talking when you reached out to me. But I was listening to it the other day and it was just like, the first song, Peace and Quiet, that intro that you do. And
Hmm.
you were like, has anybody seen me? And I was like, what? What? Because I
Yeah,
always
trying
feel
to find
like,
myself. Yeah.
yeah, I always feel like, even just as a human being, but especially as a creative, like we get lost sometimes. We get lost in the sauce. And I always feel like, I don't feel like myself sometimes. And I hate that feeling because I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to break out of it. I don't know how to move forward. I don't know how to keep going. And I'm like, I can't really stop for too long because I have so many things on my plate. But it really resonated with me. Like, I feel like this project is reaching a lot of people. And I think that is really cool what you're doing, especially with mental health. So I definitely wanted to talk a little bit about that because I know you're really big on not only, shedding light and gaining awareness, but taking that next step.
Yeah. The album itself, I was really meticulous on the songs, like the choices and how it flows throughout the album, and it's basically like a journey from being in a space of depression and kind of not feeling connected to anything and feeling lost, and then finding your way to yourself and then
Mm-hmm.
to the community or your support system as well. Like by the end of the album, and like I said, as I was trying to figure out things for myself, it just it showed me that I basically okay. I'll tell a quick story. So I had what really pushed me to go towards mental health is the song. Hopefully, I'm not jumping too far ahead, but the song "Suffer in Silence" on the album, it was a real story. I had a like a emotional breakdown one day, and that has never happened to me in my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up writing a song about it, and just me realizing like I was holding a lot of stuff in and wasn't really expressing it. I was out here in LA by myself. Like it was the only person I only know about a handful of people that even live out here before now, but when I at that time, and from that I was like, okay, I need to take this seriously. Like this is a real thing. Like mental health is a real thing. You know, self care is a real thing, and that I became real intentional about my mental health and my self care, and from that I ended up creating these virtual spaces for other people with the project, and I realized the gap that is there between people that have mental health awareness and then people who actually know like what that is or what resources there are there when it comes to mental health and therapy and the stigma around therapy and all of that. Like, you know, I don't know about you, but growing up, it's like you don't go to no therapist. Like you looked at as you're crazy, or they call it a shrink or whatever, you know. So it has like a negative thing about it. So
Yeah.
I wanted to give an opportunity for more people to be able um, to learn more about what mental health really is and how to really handle that. You know?
Yeah, and um when I was growing up too, we didn't really talk about that much. Until when I got to college, it really started to become more of a thing. Because I guess, art school, it has its different effects on different people, but a lot of people were going through some things. Like a lot of people got to school and they already were dealing with depression, dealing with anxiety, dealing with stuff like that. And some people felt like they weren't supported, by the university while we were in school. So I also was going to ask you about that. Like, how was that for you in college? Because I know a lot of people right now, they're a little stressed because college is like a whole different situation now. We're doing stuff online or however it played out for some people. So I know that's probably, weighing on a lot of people's mentals too. But how was it at Clark for that type of
Yeah.
thing when it came to mental health?
Yeah, so it's really interesting the journey that I had in college. So one, I'll say when I was in college, social media was a little bit different. Like we
Mhm.
had Facebook at that point in time. It wasn't like Instagram and I mean Twitter was a thing too, but everybody was really on Facebook, and it was like you had to go home and post. You couldn't be in the moment sharing
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
You know what I'm saying? When I was there, but that's not the point. But I started out dang near from the very first night that I was at Clark. Immediately had a group of friends that I was hanging around. So I
Mm,
was around people. It was 7 of us. It was 7 of us that hung out all the time, every day, and that was till maybe my junior year. And it was like as you get older and as things happen, as new people come around in the group and people start getting their own way. I got to a point where a lot of the people I was hanging with, I realized didn't have my best interest in mind,
right.
and I ended up moving like out of like breaking the lease and moving out of where I was at, and I ended up moving in with my dad. Like that was actually a low point for me. My damn near my senior year in college, like because I basically all the people I was hanging with throughout my whole college time at that point, like they were getting me in the mess and just I knew they weren't
Right.
that yeah. So that was interesting. But out of that though, I ended up finding some friends. I ended up connecting with new friends that are like my people I rock with all the time now, and actually have helped build like my love brand and everything with me too. So it's like now I'm around the people that are really on the same page with me. And that's no knock to the people that I used to hang with at all, but heavy, because I'm still cool with a lot of them.
Yeah,
But
sometimes
it
it's
was
just
it was
not
just
for you.
interesting, yeah. I've been there where you're around people all the time. You feel like you got people, and where you can be around people and feel alone and be completely
Mhm.
alone and stressed. And college is hard anyway, because especially if depending on how you grew up or what you're used to. But you got to make sure nobody's looking out for you. You got to look out and make sure that you taking care of your stuff and you graduate on time. So I went through all of that stuff. You know,
Hello. No one's holding your hand out here.
Mhm.
It's the
nah,
real world. I
yeah.
like that you mentioned your brand because you actually host a whole festival, and I definitely want to talk about that because I would love to host a festival one day. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, we got to get you connected for Love Fest next year for sure. But yes,
Please.
the festival I do is called Love Fest. It's with my brand, the culture brand called Love. It's spelled LXVE. It stands for love and value everything and everyone. and it's basically a culture brand that's based around music, art, and culture, and just highlighting and encouraging creatives to do what you love. And our main mantras are do what you love, spread love, and not be afraid to put yourself out there to receive love. So we just want you to feel like if you're doing what you love, and you surround yourself with like-minded people, y'all will end up being able to get further. So that's what it's all about. It's just creating this community of people supporting one another and being able to shine your light on what you do.
Yeah, I
I,
definitely would love to be a part of it. So this year you had it virtually, right?
yeah. This year was our 5th year anniversary. It had to be virtual this year, obviously, but thankfully we were able to pivot, and it was kind of cool. And I feel like it worked in our benefit because we were able to have more people involved because it wasn't stuck to a geographic location. Because typically it's been based in Atlanta every year.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I was planning to start expanding the festival, and I was going to have a Love Fest LA and a Love Fest Atlanta. But because of COVID, it became virtual. But then now we had performers from all over the world that were involved. So
Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
I feel like this whole thing, like it's been crazy, but so many good things have also come out of it because a lot of things that have went virtual have just had so many more people turn up. Like, because we don't have
Hmm.
anything else to be doing. Like, people are
Right.
inside, people are on their phones, on their computers. So I feel like that's really cool. And I think that's awesome that y'all were still able to, celebrate your 5th anniversary virtually and had more eyes on it. So more people are waiting for next year, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm already scouting people for next year. They don't know it yet, but
That's
yeah, I'm,
so
I'm looking forward to
exciting.
keeping it going. Yeah.
2021.
Hmm. It's actually I think it's
I,
actually tonight. There's a concert with K
What?
and he's doing
oh, really?
yeah, because
Oh, yeah.
he like sold tickets and everything. And so
He's
it's like a
is he doing a
virtual.
virtual tour or something
Yeah,
like
he's doing
that?
like
Okay.
today is North and South America, and tomorrow is Europe. So I'm gonna be tuned into that tonight.
You bought a ticket.
Yeah,
I know you bought a ticket.
'cause
That's what's
I was
up.
gonna buy one for the show here in Atlanta,
Hmm.
but like literally the week before the show, they
We
shut
were
down
all supposed to
everything.
go, huh?
Yeah, because like we didn't even buy well, Amelia bought her ticket, but we were about to buy ours, and then like literally that next day they called the shutdown, and so we were like can't go to that anymore. But I think they rescheduled it for next year.
Hmm.
Like I said, he's still doing the virtual tour today and tomorrow, so definitely can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'm still wondering if even next year we'll be
Yeah,
back to doing shows like we are. I'm kind of prepared to do things virtually still.
Yeah.
Maybe like small intimate stuff all next year. I don't even know. I know we all were like hoping fall 2021, but I'm still wondering because we're spiked right now. It's
Right.
worse than ever right now. So
I feel like
Right.
it'll be a little bit closer, but we still won't be like all the way to like be
Mm-mm.
able to come together for actual concert or festival. So
Mm-mm. Because people
man,
acting like this thing just gonna expire on
yeah,
December 31st. I'm like,
yeah,
listen,
I don't think that's
this
how it
is
works.
not over. Okay.
not at
Definitely does not
all.
work that way. Yeah. I mean, this is like kind of the new normal for me now because we've been doing it for so long. So I'm like, when we even go out, even a little bit, like to go out to grab lunch, even though we're, socially distanced, we're outside, it still feels so awkward. Like it feels
Yeah, I, I
uncomfortable.
I feel like there's gonna be a PTSD from
Yes.
this. Even when they say, okay, it's cool, y'all don't have to wear masks and all that, I feel like everybody's still gonna
Gonna be
be kind of,
skeptical. Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah,
what changed? So what day are you gonna say, oh, tomorrow it's fine, just don't wear your mask anymore? I'm gonna be
Honestly, I
like,
feel like it's
what?
never gonna change unless they actually have like a legit cure
Yeah.
or something for it. It's not gonna change. I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. So
Mm.
that's true. Yeah, I think it's still gonna be like I said, they're still gonna it's kind of like pre 9/11 and then
hmm
after 9/11 at the airport. It's kind of going. I feel like it's gonna be kind of like that. Like
yeah,
there's gonna be precautions moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
just in general, and then we'll see what happens from there.
like that's crazy to think like for the rest of our lives we might have to wear masks everywhere. Like that's crazy.
Right.
I hope it ain't like that
I
though. I'm
know. That's
hoping I don't. I'm not trying to wear masks for the rest of my life. That's
that's gonna be
crazy. Like
crazy.
I feel bad for the kids, man. Because
Yes.
one, I'm like one with social media is like I don't even know how they like reality is just completely different for kids
Mm-hmm.
now. They don't even know like just the people and then now you got this whole thing now where you can't even see people in the face. Y'all can't even hug. Like, I don't even know how the kids are gonna process
Right.
interaction and relationships. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even.
legit
I can't
online.
even imagine how they're gonna process this. I don't even know.
I feel so bad because so many small kids are doing like virtual learning and everything. And I'm like, when you're so small, that's like the prime time for you to develop all of those things and
Yeah.
to really just live life and grow up. And I'm like, they're in front of screens. Like, I mean, screens are good when you're young to introduce a lot of things to you, but like just everything on
Like
the
living
screen.
off of it.
Yeah, like just fully dependent on screen time. I just feel so bad. I don't know. It's just so weird. And so many people are also like having kids during this time. And I'm like, ooh, that really stressed me out to think of like going through all of that and you don't have emotional support like how you want to.
Yeah.
Nobody can come in with you. Nobody can go to the doctor with you. Nobody can do anything with you. I'm like, I would be traumatized if I was in that situation, like traumatized.
Yeah. And even going to the doctor now, like a lot of doctors, like I know people really close to me that had trouble even going to see a doctor. Like if you showed certain symptoms, they wouldn't see you in person and stuff like that. So
That
I don't know
is
how it is out there, but
insane.
yeah, but it's wild times. But I do say this though, on one good note of it is that I do feel like people are gonna be, even after things open back up, they'll be way more open to virtual things. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like now it's probably gonna be even harder for people to get out the house. Cause like I'll just watch,
Yeah.
whatever virtual concert. I don't feel like dealing with people today. I'm gonna just tune
Yes.
into it
That sounds like
online.
me all the way. I'm like, oh no, I'm just gonna on my
Yeah,
TV. It's fine.
No, I already miss that energy, man. Like there's nothing that can match the energy of like people in real life.
You're a whole DJ.
Like, but even like I'm just a fan of music in general, and so just like having the energy with like everybody, like seeing one artist, like that's just unmatched.
Yeah.
I agree. Cause I did one social distanced performance, like show
Hmm.
this year, and everybody was so happy to be around each other. Like
Exactly.
we all didn't know each other from a can of paint, but everybody was super excited to be around each other and just happy.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
nothing like the live interaction and live
Exactly.
shows
For
and like
sure.
real face to face interaction. There's nothing like it. So
I do
hopefully
miss it
that won't get
too.
lost.
I miss it too.
Like
Like,
I'm just thinking about like the house parties at SCAD. Like
do you know how many people we had in one house? Can you
we
imagine
had a floor
doing that
cave
right
in.
now?
We had a floor cave in. So
There's
like you already
there's
know.
some people still doing it. They shouldn't be, but there's people doing that right now.
I know, and that is like making me so uncomfortable because we've been there. That's why I'm like, we've done this in college and
Yeah,
like have
house parties
packed
sound so.
packed some
Yeah,
houses out.
it sounds so gross now, like doing a house
Exactly.
party.
Yes.
Like a
You just
college house party,
Just people
sweaty house
sweating,
party.
just oh
that
man,
one party
yelling. Which one?
where all the shirts came off, those
Yeah,
guys, and they were just sweating everywhere. I'm like, I can't even think about that right now. Where
sounds
were we
yeah.
at? I think we were at an Airbnb.
Are you talking about from Eugene? Her birthday
Yeah, I
party?
think that
Oh
was her
yeah, yeah.
birthday.
That was very hot. That was because of a small house anyway. But
Small
like
house, so many people.
everybody turned
People
up.
are dancing. People are sweating. Guys are taking their
Yeah,
shirts off. Sweat is going everywhere.
Hmm.
I'm
yeah.
uncomfortable.
Like the hot in here video. It's like that could never
Hot in
Basically,
happen.
here
It'll be so
video.
long before that happens again. That's not gonna
man.
happen. Yeah.
I don't know if that will happen again.
Oh man, that's crazy to think about. People gonna look at the Nelly hot in here video and be like, "You remember when it was used to be like that? When you could do that?" Like, yeah, it's
Remember when we
wild.
could go outside and just, be carefree? We could just, you know, worry about the errands that we had to run today or what we had to get done today. We didn't have to think about really anything else. But
Yeah.
I mean, hey, everything happens for a reason. I feel like we've all learned so much out of this, and it's forced us to really become more creative to, create those spaces for people and still create
Yeah,
platforms where people can still have a good time, but from home.
yeah.
So
I think that's yeah.
what were
I'm
you
sorry.
saying?
Go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say, I do think that's was a cool thing about this whole year is that
Hmm.
it leveled the playing field to an extent, and it really kind of showed you who the real creative people are, like who was able to pivot and get creative with what they're doing.
Hmm.
Like you said, create these spaces and platforms. Like that's what we've been able to do, and people like yourself. So I think that's really dope, and you can tell the people that were just doing what everybody else was doing, and the people that really are innovative. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how has it been for you like as an artist to like navigate through the social distance like pandemic?
It's been interesting. From a creative standpoint, it it wasn't too bad for me because for the last 7+ years recording music, I've been recording using a mic like this at my
Mm-hmm.
home by myself, recording, and then I kind of bring other people into the process after I've already started, typically. So it it kind of didn't stop as I kept doing it. Like it was kind of the same thing. I would plan stuff out, work on stuff myself, and then contact people to get involved. So
Mm.
that kind of worked in my favor. That I kind of had this own self starter initiative kind of thing for myself. But at the same time, I had to switch my whole plans for the year. Like I was planning to try to organize a tour for this year, and like I said about Love Fest was going to be in multiple places, and I was going to do these like exhibition event. Like I was going to do all these different live things, but we couldn't do any of that. So that's why I ended up having to do these virtual events throughout this year. But I liked it though. It ended up working in my favor though. I think because it made stuff more inclusive, and I couldn't have planned the year to be how it is now with with my album being called Everything Will Be All Right. Like I didn't plan it like this. It wasn't like the pandemic happened. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this project. No, it was like
Yeah.
it was already happening, but it just turned out that when I was about to drop this project about mental health and taking care of yourself and the people around you, that the pandemic happened, and I couldn't have timed it any better, but it was necessary, and it just made it even more something that people need. So from then I just started creating these virtual spaces to bring people together and try to create support systems for people and stuff. So it worked out. I just been kind of half planning, half paying attention, and doing what's needed.
Everything is in alignment,
Mhm.
okay? Firm believer
Yeah,
of it. That's why I was like,
absolutely.
that's so crazy that this project was already like happening, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah, it was already. I had stuff drawn out about this over a year before this whole thing happened. So it's kind of wild. But that's God's timing. That's what was supposed to happen.
Hello.
It helped me through it even more for sure.
I saw in another interview you did like a little bit about the album cover. You said you had drew the album cover like before you
Yeah, yeah. So that's was a cool thing to see happen. So yeah, I have Google Drive. I'm a big like note taker, write it down, manifest it kind of person. So I have these doodles in my notebook. I don't have it on me right now, but I have like this notebook I drew doodle ideas in, and I have like these images for this project, and one of them was like my face looking beat up and stuff for the album. And I ended up being able to I actually got a grant, and I was able to shoot the video even during the pandemic, safely shoot this video for the Peace and Quiet video. And during that video shoot was when I shot the cover for the album and everything. But I didn't plan out like how the makeup was gonna look on my face and everything. Like it ended up looking exactly like the doodle that I drew. And it's just crazy. Like if you go to my Instagram page, you can see it. But it ended up being exactly the way that I planned it, which is pretty wild.
Wow. I'm glad you brought that up because I was definitely going to ask about it. I was
Mhm.
like, I need to know what was the concept
mm-hmm.
Okay.
behind this. It was
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
it's so interesting. It's so interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So for those who don't know, I'm gonna get a little bit of a spoiler alert, but that's fine. I have a video. One of the first videos I dropped for the Everything Will Be Alright album was just the intro called Peace and Quiet, and in the video you see me going through this shoot with my face all beat up, and there's no real context or anything like that. But the main point of it is for the album cover and everything is showing the pain that we feel on the inside, on the outside. Like
Mm.
we all, tend to feel really beat down and hurt, but we all walk around like everything is cool, and maybe only people that really, really, really know us can tell that something's off, but we walk around with a smile on our face and pretend everything is all right, but it's not. And so that was me showing our internal pain externally and just kind of putting it all on the surface. So that's like the message behind the album cover and artwork.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm hydrating. Okay. Did you bring your favorite drink today? No.
You know what? I blew it. I blew it on that. I did not. I knew I was forgetting something.
No, that's
I did
okay.
not bring. But actually, low key, I mean, I got water on me. Like
Water.
I drink. If I'm being real with you, 90% of what I drink is water. To be
Same.
honest with you.
Sounds like
So I
somebody
mean, I
I
guess
know.
this is my favorite drink. Like if I have juice or a beer or something, it's kind of a treat because I'm drinking water all day, every day. So
Mm-hmm. I need to
yeah,
drink more water. I drink a lot of tea.
Mm-hmm.
that's not
I mean,
bad
tea is
though.
still good.
It's still water.
Yeah, tea. That's not a bad alternative. You should
Yeah.
definitely drink water, but
I
tea
know, right?
isn't bad because that's basically water with other
Right.
stuff in it. So
Right. That's why I'm like, it's still good. I'm getting in
yeah,
more water because I'm drinking more tea. But
I should probably drink more tea, low key.
Mhm.
it's really nice.
It's
It has a
definitely needed
lot
during
of,
this time.
oh, yeah, like the immunity ones. You need to stock up on all that good stuff. All right.
Gotta take care of your stuff.
Listen, you have to, especially now. I always say that. I'm like, listen, in the past, I have, slipped up in that area, but I'm like, now I cannot let myself slip up because usually, like, when I would get really burnt out, I would catch a cold. And
Mm.
I was just like, girl, you are not going to catch a cold during this pandemic. Okay. That's what we're
Do
not going
not
to
do
do.
that. Yeah,
That's what we're not going to
yeah.
do. So I've really been making sure I've been drinking a lot of tea, a lot of immunity shots, a lot of vitamins and everything to just keep everything balanced because I will not let stress win during this pandemic at all.
Amen to that.
So now that I've started talking about self care, I want to talk about self care too because I really need more guys' perspective on this topic. So, like, what are some of your self care routines? Like,
Gotcha.
what do you like to do?
Yeah. So I'm pretty simple, but it's effective for me. The main thing, the main point of my self care is making space and time for myself.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing, and the easiest form for me to do that is at the beginning of my days before I do anything for anybody else. I'll do something for me. So, like I meditate. Um, I, I will write stuff out or write ideas down or just write. If anybody has read the book The Artist's Way, if you want to start something like that, like writing, that's a great thing to start. The book The Artist's Way because it just is like making morning pages and just writing whatever you're thinking about. But meditation and exercise are great forms of self care for me. Meditation has helped me to still your mind and center yourself and make
Mm-hmm.
you a little bit more aware of yourself and your body. Like I've noticed that since I've started meditating, I can notice tension in my body or in myself easier and realize I can. I don't know if you've ever like been sitting somewhere and your fist is balled up and you didn't realize it, or
Yeah.
your shoulders are tense, whatever. I pick that stuff out quicker now because I'm a little bit more aware of my body and how I'm centered. But those are main things for me. But the main point is to save some space and time for myself every day. But for me, the best thing is in the mornings before I do anything else, if possible.
I like that. I wish I
Yeah.
was a morning person because I am not.
Well, that's okay. I mean, it's whatever is best for you. Maybe for you it's what you do to calm yourself at night. If you're a night owl, maybe it's whatever way to take you down and relax you before you go to bed. But
Mm-hmm.
it's just figuring out whatever makes sense and is best for you. I'm definitely more of a morning person than a night owl. At a certain point at night, I can't do anything. I can't write anything out, or like I even back in school, I couldn't write. Like if I had a paper due after about midnight, a little after midnight, I was done. I can't focus. You know what I mean?
What? Those are
I can
the
do.
prime hours over here.
I I can make music. That's about the only thing I can do at night,
Mm.
late at night, and that's if maybe I'm around other people and we're just working. But on my own, I'm definitely a morning, afternoon person for sure. On my own, just doing stuff. But yeah, not a night owl at all.
I
I
thrive
go
in
to
those
bed.
hours.
I goes to bed.
I don't. Are you more of a morning person or a night owl? By choice,
Um,
because by force, we have certain routines, but
Probably a night owl.
hmm
Yeah, like I pretty much do everything at night. Like even like editing or like music, just I don't know. It just feels like everything comes to me at once.
That's I mean, we couldn't be a more perfect pair because I'm like, you'll be worried about keeping people up at night when you're up and you're like banging around and like trying to work on stuff and then they're trying to
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah, that would be tough. I'm a super light sleeper too. That would be really tough. But I will say this, I do get some of my best ideas late at night.
Mhm.
Cause I'm real. It happens a lot for me. I'll wake up at like 3, 4 in the morning, and we'll have some idea keeping me up. And that's why I make notes and stuff like that. But I'm not a night owl though. I wouldn't consider myself a night owl. So
See,
that
my
would be tough.
problem is they come to me at night and then I have to like not only write it down, but I have to feed into it. I don't know why. It's like
Mhm.
I will not be able to go to sleep. My mind
So
will keep going and going and going and I won't be able to sleep.
I have a question. So if you're a night owl,
Mhm.
when do you sleep? Especially if you got stuff to do during the day. Like, how does that work?
You don't. No, I'm kidding. That's what I've been working on is balance. I've kind of got it down, but it definitely could use more work. So I'm the type of person like every night I'll go to sleep probably like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. at the latest, and I get up at 8:30. So I'm on average getting like 6 hours of sleep each night. So that's just how much I sleep. I know I should sleep more for sure, but I don't know. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Like I got to feed into, what's going on when I get new ideas or like I'm trying to do new collections and stuff is just coming to me. I'm like writing it all down and then once I write it all down, I'm like, "Oh, let me just research this one thing real quick so that I could write that down too." And then I'm on the computer for like 3 hours. So,
Mm,
I got to do that, but then I
Right.
got to wake up and go to work and, do orders and everything. So, yeah, it's a very delicate balance. But if it was up to me, I would, kind of work a later shift in the day. Like I would love if I could start my day at like 3 p.m. Like if I could sleep in and then just like take my time and get up and do my hygiene, do my skincare, and then go to work. I would
yeah.
love that. I would love that. And then I can come home at a decent time and still have time to feed into whatever else is going to come to me that night. But that's not how life works right now.
Hey, yeah, eventually you'll get there to when you
Yeah.
can get up when you want to get up.
Yeah. I'm really trying to train myself because I'm like, I'm kind of used to getting up a little bit earlier now because even like getting up at 8:30 like a year ago, I was not a fan. I
Mm,
just couldn't do it. Like I have the worst attitude in the morning. Like it's not even funny. So I'm
yeah.
like, you have to do better. You got to work on yourself, and this is what it is. I'm compromising right now, to make everything work with everyone else's schedule too. So it's like the schedule works for me. My schedule is the most flexible out of everyone that I work with. So it works for them. It works for me. I just got to get up in the morning and get it
Yeah.
done. But it's not bad. And I try to take the weekends to just really sleep, catch up for the week, and then reset. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I'm functioning because I'm pretty sure, you can't live off of 5 hours of sleep every night for too long. So
No, even though they'll tell you all you need is 4, but that's not the case.
four,
That's not the
what?
case. Some like if you I've heard like Diddy and Ryan Leslie like say that they for a long stretch of their career they were only sleeping like 4 hours a night, but the body can function if you with 4 hours of sleep. And I know one person that has told me that they do this like shift thing. Like they'll go a certain amount of hours during the day and they'll then sleep for like 4 hours and then
Mm.
they'll continue for a certain amount of hours during the day and then they'll sleep 4 hours. It's like real it's like real different. I don't know. Like they'll be up at random hours. It's not for the faint of heart.
I don't
I
think,
don't suggest it. I need my hours of sleep. So
Facts.
I
I was
don't
about to say,
suggest
I
it.
don't think I would be able to function like that if I was taking naps throughout the day.
I'm not team no sleep at all.
Mhm.
I'm not at all.
That is
You can
so
have that.
funny. Um, okay, so we can switch gears a little bit because I know we wanted to talk a little bit more about your work and how you work. So I know that you've been doing a lot of stuff independently. So
Mm.
definitely wanted to get your perspective on that. I mean, that kind of fits in with my life, being an entrepreneur and having to figure out how to make things happen when it's just me or me and a small team of other people. So how has that experience been for you?
Been it's been a uphill kind of battle thing, but it's also one that with momentum it gets a little easier.
Mhm.
Like you kind of said, you have to be your own self starter and motivator. That's the biggest thing if you're going to be some sort of entrepreneur. You got to be able to execute, and you got to be able to sell. You can't depend on other people to get things started or going, or have as much drive as you. Like you got to be able to do it. So
Right.
but yeah, no, it's been a learning process throughout the whole time. I would say, like you have to, you just learn as you go. That's kind of been my whole motto. Like I don't let nobody stop me on what I'm trying to do. If you're down with what I'm doing and you're helpful, then or we got some common interest, then great. If you aren't down anymore, or you not picking up your slack or whatever, like I'm not letting nobody or nothing stop me from getting done whatever I want to get done or whatever I want to do on a big goal. So that's the biggest thing. And then also is I've learned of finding a win-win-win for the people that you work with. So
Mhm.
like finding like-minded people that have common goals and figuring out what it is that they want and what they want to get out of something, and figuring out ways to make it make sense for everybody. And then you have people that will build with you, what you're doing, because y'all have a common goal, or at least what's getting worked out will benefit them too. And that's kind of how it's been. And now I'm just grateful that I have a group of people that we all have common goals and believe in the same things, and are all building up together. So now I'm not on my own doing everything. And I've connected with another organization called the Rattle that's been helping me a lot too since I've been out here in LA. So I have people around supporting now with what I'm doing. So that's grateful. But it started with just me not giving up and just making sure to get stuff done, you know?
For sure. I always tell people, I'm like, keep going. Okay, you decided that you wanted to do this. You wanted to do this on your own. Just, you got to start it. You got to start somewhere. And, I think a lot of people look at us now a little bit more seasoned and they think that it started out like this. And I'm like, no, had to go through some things to get through some
Yeah.
things to get to where I am
Yeah,
today. Um, yeah,
absolutely.
that's one thing that I'm super excited about now with this new series that I'm working on my channel, because I kind of like just have all this content from a year ago when I first started my business, when I didn't know anything and I was struggling with everything, and I had never put that content out. So I'm like, well, now you have the opportunity to know me now in my present, and now you can look back to where I was a year ago and see like, okay, me and you might have been in the
Process.
same spot at one time or
Yeah.
another. So
Yeah, exactly. It's like you just gotta start and just and learn as you go. I think that's
mhm.
something that holds people back is people want it to look like where they
Yes.
want it to end up.
Mhm.
And if it doesn't look like that starting out, or they don't have all the information, they just won't even start, or they don't stick with it.
Right.
I think that's what differentiates a lot of people from ending up seasoned, or just always trying to start something, and not
Mhm.
really getting nowhere. So I'm nowhere near where I want to be in the end, but
Hello.
it's still, I'm seeing the difference. This year has been a pretty pivotal year for me. I feel like too, for sure.
Same over here. This year has been that year for me.
Yeah. Congratulations, by the way, on
Oh,
everything.
thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy that you found me because of social media. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm working on
Shout
all
out to
this
Thrice Crew.
content. Yes, shout out to Thrice Groove. Shout out to episode 7. I really enjoyed that. I'm trying to really build up this platform. So like today is our first virtual interview, and I just really
Yeah.
want to have this space to include more people in my journey, include more people to come here and share their story. So I really appreciate you being here with me today.
Yeah. Glad to.
All right. So this is my last question. So I know, you're working on a lot of things behind the scenes. I'm pretty sure you're already planning for 2021, but are
Mm.
there any other topics or like areas that you're really passionate about that you want to, shed light on when it comes to your music or any of your other projects that you're working on? Because I know you were really passionate about mental health, but I didn't know if you had anything else that was like really exciting you to create.
Yeah, so there's two things I can think of right now. Well, there's a few things, but one is one of the big things for me that I'm passionate about is kind of how like with the Love Brand, how it started is just encouraging people to do whatever it is you really want to do. Like and especially if it's something you love to do. Like I want to encourage you to do that and not be afraid to put yourself out there and try things and meet more people. Like that's a big thing for me is just encouraging people because I grew up with a mother that said I could be whatever I want to be
Mm-hmm.
and was supportive as long as I wasn't hurting nobody. She was cool with it. But I know a lot of people didn't quite grow up like that or wasn't encouraged with what it is that they wanted to do. So if nobody else will tell you, I want to be a person that'll tell you that, and encourage you. So that's something that's important. And then another thing I have going on right now is a platform that myself and a few other people on my team are creating. We've created this streaming platform called Tone,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically a platform for emerging artists and content creators such as yourself to have a space to have a community around your content and create a way for you to be able even to monetize on it more and have more value because a lot of us are all just throwing our stuff out for free to everybody, on these platforms that aren't made for your best interest, and you got to pay to even get your followers that already want to see your content to even see it. You're a small percentage of people who follow you see your stuff unless you pay to boost in whatever. So we
Mm-hmm.
wanted to create a platform for people creating high quality content to be able to have a space where you're not competing with people. Everybody's supportive. You have a space that is your own, and like we said, you can add create value for your content more on there than you would on any other platform like a YouTube or whatever. So and we already have several different content creators and dope artists, especially some from Atlanta, that are going to have their stuff on Tone. You can watch all of my content basically from this year that I put out. You can see it on Tone. All of the Love Fest content and interviews and performances is all on Tone. We have a few other like web series is on there. My podcast, Where From Here, is on there, and you'll be seeing a whole lot more new stuff from other people on there as well. But we're going to do a pilot launch, official pilot launch of it next year at the top of the year. You can go now to tone.vision and see it now, and you can check it out. So it's a live site and platform for you to check out right now, but we'll be officially launching it at the top of the year. So I'm just creating more and more spaces to not only boost myself as an artist, but other people too. So
Yeah, I love that. Oh my gosh, creating your own space online because I've been looking into that. I'm like, I want an app. Like, I want to design an app. I want to, have a
yeah,
space that I can call my own too. So I think that's really
yeah,
cool. And I think that's really cool what you're doing, like to connect other creatives all over the world because I'm always, trying to build my network and be more connected with other people that are either in the same industry or industries that complement me or even just content creators in general because I feel like no matter what kind of content we're creating, we're all kind of going through the same types of things when it comes to continuing to learn about that. I'm like, I had to really learn about monetizing my content for sure. That was like a whole time trying to figure that
yeah,
out. And now I have this podcast, so that's a whole other thing that I'm learning about, like how to
yeah.
monetize. And you have a podcast as well. I'm gonna have all of Alfred's links down below, so you guys can just go and check out all of his stuff. Yeah, how's your podcast going?
It's been good. So yeah, my podcast is called Where From Here with my guy B Snell. We talk a lot of music, a lot about music, and just current events, culture,
Oop.
uh, creativity. Like we talk about all of those, a lot of different stuff. So it's really cool, man. It's just been fun for me. Like it's really been another release for me to be able to talk because I feel like my followers are people who are tapped in with me as an artist don't really hear me just talk. Like I'm not online just talking about a bunch of stuff all the time, or just on live just sitting there with whatever I'm doing. So I don't blog like I know you've mastered that, but I don't do that. So I feel like this is a platform for me to be able to speak more of what I'm into, what inspires me, what other dope things that I enjoy, I can share and give my perspective on things a little bit more too. And it's just give me a chance to just kind of kick it with my friend and just talk, and hang out. So I
Yeah.
enjoy it, and I can bring other people in on that. So yeah,
Yeah, I feel the same way about my podcast because it's just like, even though I'm vlogging all the time or I'm putting out all this content, I still feel like, they're only seeing like a small, small, small slither of, what goes on in my life. So I'm
mm,
like, let me just have this show, and I call it Hello, It's Me, I Am K Nicole, because I just want to sit here and I just want to be me. Like, I want to be relaxed. I don't want to be thinking about work. I don't want to be in that mindset that you have to be in sometimes. Like when you're working, we're doing videos for brands. We have certain content that we have to produce and it has to look a certain way. But I wanted the show to be just really relaxed. Like, this is me in real life. Okay, this is what I look like. This is what I sound like. I'm not perfect, and I just
yeah,
think it's such a cool space to create and just be yourself. Like, just sit down, talk, whatever comes to mind. That's fine. Me and Devin are just like talking. We're having guests like yourself here. So I definitely feel that the podcast is definitely like, it's a good outlet. So yeah, we've listened to
yeah.
a few of your episodes as well. So
Oh,
go
nice.
check out Alfred. Okay, all of his information, like I said, down below. So that was all of the questions that I had for you for our topic. I want
Gotcha.
to thank you for joining me today and sharing your story. We're going to get into some questions from the squad. Those questions, some of them are about you. So we're still going to be
Okay.
talking about you, still getting to know you a little bit. But
Could
Devin,
I say one thing too
yeah,
before, just in case? I just want to
yeah.
make sure I point this out too, is the Everything Will Be Alright initiative. I want to make
Mm-hmm.
sure I shout that out as well. So a big part of the Everything Will Be Alright project was creating this initiative that we've raised funds, and we still are raising funds for providing free therapy sessions for Black creatives. So, and we're actually about to launch the application to provide therapy for somebody. So that's going to start on November 17th. So uh, so yeah, I just want to make sure shout that out that you can still donate if you want to support and provide to help provide therapy for Black creatives. You can support and you can apply pretty soon as well. So make sure you tap in with me on that. So I just want to make sure I mention that before I go.
Oh,
So
yeah, for sure. Yes. If you have all the information, just give me everything I need.
yeah,
I'm going to just put it out there because that's so amazing that y'all are even doing that. Because I know some people can't even afford to get the help that they want or that they
yeah,
need. So, for sure.
absolutely.
That's amazing. Out here doing stuff. Okay. All right, Devin, whenever you're ready.
Cool. So we got a few questions here. So the first one is, how do you gain quality, engaging followers, and not just other businesses?
Oh, like on Instagram.
So you're talking about like actual people instead of
I mean, maybe okay, so for me, like my business page, I do have a lot of other cosmetics businesses or lip gloss businesses or whatever the case may be. They follow me because, they're inspired by me. They want to see what I'm doing. They want to see what I'm posting about. So I guess they mean like how do you get actual people that want to follow you that are customers and not just other businesses, cuz in a sense, if they have a business too, then they're not buying from your business, but they're still following
Yeah,
you. I can understand that. Really, you just gotta keep posting. You gotta be consistent. I feel like my business, I'm a vendor, like I'm a wholesaler, so I need those other businesses to be following me so that people that are looking for wholesale products too, they can shop with me. But it's like a delicate balance for me because I need a little bit of both. Like right now, I'm in a space where I do want to focus more on retail and not just wholesale. So I have to put more of my products out and post more about my products, talk more about my personal collections and not just always about wholesale. So just being consistent, making sure that you're utilizing the right hashtags for your business, and you're really doing your research there, because a lot of these hashtags out here for lip gloss specifically, they're geared towards like wholesalers, people that are the suppliers, not really just the people that are selling. But utilize all your platforms, utilize word of mouth, utilize any and everything that you have, utilize that. And your followers are going to be your followers. I mean, I'm grateful for anybody that's following me right now, whether they're a business or just a regular person that's just like trying to purchase something, or they just want to support me. They might have never purchased anything from me. And just, keep going, keep posting, be consistent.
Yeah, I would say I don't consider myself popping online whatsoever, and I'm not necessarily
I'm
doing it for that.
screaming.
But but I would say though, I mean, but the thing is, the people that do rock with me really rock with me, and I think that it's because one, you gotta add value. Like, what value are you adding to people? Whether it's information, if it's entertainment, products, whatever it is,
Yeah.
like what value are you providing, and consistently. Like, I would say figuring that out, whatever it is that you want people to do at the end of the day, like what are they getting out of it, and do that consistently. And then you can create things to differentiate. Like, I'm big on information. Like, I want to know everybody that I know everybody who's bought a ticket to something, to bought a shirt. Like, I know everybody. So I want to know who you are. So you can figure out ways to get the people who really rock with you to buy into something, whether it's just, texting you or getting their email or purchasing something that you have, like figuring out that next step for somebody who really is engaged with you to buy into that. And if they do that, then you know that they're really tapped in with you, and they're not just following you or just think that you're cool. Like, they really are invested in you. And I think then you know the people to really focus on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would say too,
Yeah. And then
on top of
also
that.
promote engagement. Now I'm learning, like, if I do a poll on Instagram, or if I ask y'all, to send me questions or anything, I have more people engaging that way. So really, like, on your platform, you kind of have to make people do what you want them to do. You gotta put it out there, like what you want them to do, like Alfred said. And so consistently, like, keep posting, post the content that you want to be posting, even if you don't have the followers that you want to have yet. Like, don't try to switch it up to please the people that you already do have. Like, we got to keep going towards the end goal. So yeah.
Cool. And the next question is, what should I do? What should I do with wrong size custom boxes that are either too big or small for what I need?
Wrong size boxes.
Wrong size custom boxes.
Wrong size custom boxes. Well, first of all, everything is trial and error. So sometimes that happens. Sometimes you might not measure it right, or sometimes, it just doesn't work out. I've definitely been there. The first time I ordered custom boxes, like, I had no clue what I was doing. So yeah, I just like picked one, picked the size, tried to gauge it, tried to guess a little bit, tried to do a little guesswork. But no, the boxes were way too small. And so I still have those boxes. Like, I would definitely say, keep them, don't throw them away, because I have plans for them in the future. But sometimes you just have to live and learn. Like, sometimes it's not going to go to plan. And that's just the beauty of having your own business. Like, sometimes stuff just doesn't work out, and I understand that. I realize that it does get a little bit frustrating sometimes in the moment when you try to do something, or if you're on a tight time frame and then things don't work out. I know that can be a little bit frustrating, but I would just say keep going. You know what size not to get for the next time. So I would just say go in and try to measure again and see if you can get the next size up, the next size down, whatever it is that you need. And just plan something for those boxes. If you don't have any use for them, plan some use for them, because we do not waste things around here unless they just cannot be used. So I have a lot of stuff that I thought I was going to use when I first started my business, and I never used it. So I have like empty packaging, empty bottles that I was going to use for skincare, like empty, all kind of stuff that I just didn't use right away, but I still have plans for those things. So don't throw them away, whatever you do, unless, they just can't be used. But that's what I would say.
Cool. And the next couple questions are for Alfred. So the first one is, how is it living in LA?
Oh, I'm interested.
How is it living in LA? It's It's nice. It's not too bad. Especially if you find good people around, it's definitely different than like Atlanta, when it comes to like the people and kind of how they are sometimes. But
Mm.
it's nice though. I mean, it's the same temperature dang near every day. Like it's the same 10 difference in maybe 10 to 15 degrees dang near every day throughout the year. So it's nice weather. You can do everything from ski to go to the beach, in the same day if you wanted to. That'd be kind of crazy, but you could.
I'm
So
like, go to ski? What?
yeah, you can. They have like these ski resorts and stuff
Mm.
too as well. So they got all these different things. But yeah, no, it's cool though. I think it's I like that you can get healthier food here than some places. I don't know. I enjoy it now. I feel like if you can afford to live out here, then you'll probably enjoy it. For the most part, that's what I think.
What's the air
So
quality like out there?
it sucks. it's no, no, it's. I mean, we get these alerts every so often saying that the air quality is bad today. So it's like the smog or whatever. It's just from all the cars and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
they even had. I saw online like somebody posted photos of the skyline like where post or pre COVID how foggy it was, and then when COVID hit and everybody was in the house and you could actually see the clear skies and all of that. So yeah, the air quality is not the best here, especially if you're in the city. I feel like it might not be the best, but it's not like you're coughing all day or nothing like that. But yeah, I know it's not as green and fresh air and spread out as
Got
other
it.
places.
I
Yeah.
follow a lot of people out there, like influencers and stuff, and they always talk about it. And I'm like, we've been to LA one time. I don't think, did we really notice the difference? I don't know if we really noticed the difference,
It's it,
but
yeah, no.
I was back in like
You,
2016 though, so.
oh, that was too long ago. Things have
I mean,
changed now.
I don't think it's something you really notice, especially if you live here. You wouldn't notice like that. It's nothing you really notice. Like when it comes to air quality and stuff, it's just a fact that it is
Mm-hmm.
there. The air quality can be bad, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
one
too.
girl that I
When the
follow, she's like, oh, every time I go out there, I get sick. And I'm like, sick?
well, that could happen. I've heard, if you ever travel to some place that has a different climate than
Mm-hmm.
what you're used to, air quality and all that, it definitely could affect you. If you just traveled out here to visit or something like that, and you're not used to the climate out here, because I think, yeah. So I think that could be something, but it's not too bad though. I don't think it's too
I was just interested. That was all.
bad.
I just threw in another question real quick.
Yeah.
Cool. So the next question is, what is your favorite thing about the holiday season?
My favorite thing is family and food. That's the main
Period.
Facts.
things. Is yeah.
Period.
Unfortunately, out here in LA, I'm not as around as much family. Really, I mean, yeah. Especially since being out here, I feel like I don't see family as much. But family and food. If you can get around your family and get a home cooked meal, then I'm happy, man. And the music, especially, are we talking about like Christmas holiday season?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and the music. I love Christmas music.
Same.
Holiday music.
Yes.
The holiday cookies. Like it's just how can you not? I mean, it's a good time, man. It's supposed to be a jolly time, so I enjoy it. I love
Mm-hmm.
the holiday season,
Love
but
it.
the food and family is a big thing.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Kori Nicole?
Uh, Food and family. No, I mean, I'm a sucker for the holidays. I love just decorating. I
Bro, her
love.
house is already decorated, like fully decorated with lights,
It
trees.
is.
Yes.
Oh, so y'all those people that when it's not even Thanksgiving
Listen,
yet, and y'all got all the
listen,
Christmas holiday stuff up.
listen to
This
me.
happened. This happened in October. Like as soon as October hit.
Listen.
So y'all didn't even let Halloween hit. Y'all was
Nope.
already
Nope.
wow. Okay, all right.
Listen, I have a whole thought process behind this, okay? Promise.
Okay,
So, I'm
okay.
a whole content creator, right? So, I've done Vlogmas like 2 years in a row, I think, and it has always been super last minute, like super last minute. And if you don't know what Vlogmas is, we're posting videos every single day throughout December. So, it's like you can either do like
Okay.
12 days, you can do 25 days, or you can do the whole month if you want to, but I
Mhm.
literally like would do it at the last minute. So you definitely don't want to plan at the last minute for one and then have to be like creating the content, editing and posting like every single day. So I was like always shuffling around, trying to do an intro, trying to figure out what I'm going to film, trying to figure out when I'm going to edit. And I just have not been satisfied really with how it has turned out. Like, I know I can do better. So I was like, okay, this is my first Christmas in this new apartment and it's going to be magnificent. Like it's going to be everything that I have ever dreamed of. So I was like, I'm going to have to start
Respect.
early, especially with the filming part of it because the holiday time gets really busy for my business. So I'm like, if I don't do this early, I'm not going to be able to get things done how I want to, and everything is just going to end up being rushed all over again. So I planned out in advance. Okay. We went shopping when everything was in stock, everything is on sale. They have everything that I want. I didn't have to think twice about it. So it just
Yeah.
all worked out. So I got stuff set up and I got some content already filmed. I'm filming content like every week for Vlogmas so that I can just edit and not have to worry about it. But um
Thinking ahead.
yeah, because I'm like, I want to produce a quality Vlogmas this year. We're not doing stuff at the last minute. So that's
Yeah.
that's the thought process behind that. But overall, I just love the holiday time anyway. So even if I wasn't doing Vlogmas, I would not have had any issues with putting up all of my decorations October 1st. Like I just
Yeah.
would not have an issue with that. So I'm like,
Hey, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I have an aunt that soon as the day after Thanksgiving, she got all her Christmas stuff up and ready and playing Christmas music the whole rest of the time till
no, no,
Christmas
no.
is over. So, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm totally not. I'm horrible about decorating and stuff before Christmas. I want to, I should do it, but I don't do it like I want to. I'm still in the spirit, but I don't decorate
Mhm.
like that.
Mm-mm. I cannot, like, I tell my parents this every year. I'm like, no. The tree has to be up for Thanksgiving. Like, when everyone
Wow.
comes, like, it
Okay.
has to be up. Like, we have to already have the stuff ready. So even if we do it the day before Thanksgiving, I'm fine with that. But
Mm.
if it's not up by Thanksgiving, I have an attitude. So I'm like,
All
no,
right.
please. But yeah, so my house is done early. But yeah, that's really, family, food, decorations, the music, the movies. I just love everything about it. Um, yeah, I think that's it.
And so, what's your favorite holiday movie?
A Christmas Story. I watch it every year. I love A Christmas Story.
A
So
classic.
it's just a classic. I don't know. It's
Right.
nostalgic for me.
A
Yeah.
classic for sure. Mm. They should know mine already. Look,
What?
they should already know my favorite movie is. My favorite movie is The Polar Express. Um,
Okay.
I watch that. It doesn't have to be Christmas time for me to watch that. I'm that kind of person. I
Yeah.
just love Christmas, but that's my favorite movie of life, not just my favorite Christmas movie. That's just
Mhm.
my favorite movie in general.
Oh, got you. Okay.
hmm
Respect.
Cool. So this next question is for you, Alfred. So who are some of your influences? Like it could be musically, or just in general. Like who are some of your influences? Like
Oh man, there's so many. My cousins that inspire me to rap are influences for me. Not only did they get me to start making music, but just in life. Like they're like my older brothers, and they just kind of always been there for me. So they're definitely inspiration for me. My parents, um, Jay Z was like a big influence on me growing up with music. I always credit like Jay Z, Lupe, Kanye West up until a certain point. And who else? Common. But I love artists that and people that are creating things bigger than themselves. Like you see, like Tyler the Creator or Ryan Leslie or Nipsey Hussle. It's like people that uh, were dope as artists, but they also created other things and had a business around what they were doing and just expanded it beyond just themselves. So I love that. Uh, I also love. I'm inspired by like visual artists, people who I'm inspired by artists that not only can make a concert and have people line up to go see you, but I also am inspired by visual artists like the Gorilla Girls or uh, Kerry James Marshall or just different visual artists that can put something in a museum and people from all over the world will come visit it. Like I love that too. So kind of all over the place, but those are some of my inspirations.
And so, who are your top 5 favorite rappers?
Oh, top 5. You're on the hot seat.
Okay.
Look,
Yeah, that's
20 seconds. Go. No, I'm kidding.
Top
Speed
5.
round.
Okay. Okay. Are we talking? Okay, I have to ask a disclaimer for this. Are we saying top 5 like just the best rappers? Or are we just saying like my favorite artists?
I guess
like
artists,
top rapper, like
artists.
rapping artists. Like they don't have to necessarily be the best rapper, but my favorite artist.
It's like as all around artists, yeah.
Okay, got you. Okay. Jay-Z for sure would be in there. Common. Black Thought. Q-Tip is actually a favorite of mine too. How many is that? Is that 4?
I think that's
3.
3. Yeah, you said Jay-Z, Common, Q-Tip.
Oh no, Black Thought.
That's
4.
4. That's 4. Yeah.
Now we all can't
4.
count.
Yeah, and who'd be a favorite? There's so many damn people. I love Odyssey.
Oh, I think I'm talking about the guy from I think he's from UK, or
he's from Maryland, DC, Maryland area. He does perform overseas though.
How do you spell it? Is it O-D-I?
It's like Odddisie.
I think. Hold up. I'm looking it up now.
My top 5 could change any day. I'm sure there's people I'm missing. I should have said Lupe. That should have been another person, but whatever. It changes every day. That's just who came up in mind right now.
That's okay. It was a speed round. We put you under a little pressure.
Yeah.
Bet. Cool. And I guess since you brought it up, like who are your top 5 like favorite like people that can rap? Like
I'm screaming.
Bars.
Bars. # bars.
Bars would be Jay-Z again, Eminem, Black Thought again, Lupe, and I would dang near say King Los. How many is that? Is that 4? Is that 5?
That's 5.
Is that 5?
Yeah.
That's 5. Okay, yeah. So I'll just stick with that for right now. But that's tough. Royce the 5'9" would be another one. But yeah. Honorable mention.
He said that was tough. You put him under some pressure.
Yeah.
Top 5 is always
those
hard.
are always tough.
Yeah,
top 5 is,
like.
And that could change any day. Like I said, that could change, man. I that's just today. That's how I feel today.
I feel you.
It's always like that.
Definitely a good list though. And then the last question is, what's the favorite song you've ever made?
Now that's a hard one. See,
that's tough.
As a creative, that's a hard one.
These are good questions though. Ooh, okay, man. Okay.
We're gonna ask Devin a hard question like that too when we get done. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. The best favorite song I've ever made. That's tough, man. Shoot.
Or I guess like top 5. I don't know. if you can't think of one.
Top 5 might be even tougher. I love. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that though. Okay. Suffer in Silence was important to me.
Okay.
So that would be one. I also have a song called Plato's Cave on my album before that. Well, my second project called The Light Bulb Moment. I have 2 songs on there I really like: Plato's Cave and The Light Bulb Moment, which is the outro. I also have a song on my very first solo album called What Is This Happiness? I really love that song. And I'll stick with those for right now.
Okay.
I have some other ones I really enjoy too, but yeah, those would be some top ones for me.
Cool. I think that's all the questions for the squad. What?
You're on the hot seat.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
What?
You said favorite song. What's the favorite thing you've ever done? What's the favorite mix you've ever made?
Favorite mix?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, what?
Yeah. What's your favorite mix that you've ever made?
Let's
see.
Wait.
Let's see how he feels about
I
it.
wasn't ready.
Tough, man.
I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready.
It's like your babies. You know, trying to
Exactly.
choose between your children.
I
Like,
already
it's
know.
tough.
That's because people are always like, what's your favorite product? What's your favorite gloss? I'm like, y'all, I don't know. I love all of them. I use all
Right.
of them. I love them all. I don't know.
Right.
I can't single any one of my babies out.
I ain't gonna lie, I kind of thought about this a little bit before, but I know. Well, I don't know which exact one, but I know one of them is a mix I made. Like I think my freshman year, I was going through a little rough time, and like the only thing I could do was just like make a mix, and so that's what I made, and it's called "Sucks Being Awkward," and like literally it's just like a movie with music, and so like I was just trying to like create a story with the songs. Yeah, I guess I think that one
Nice.
and the beach mix I did.
That was a whole
Last
vibe.
year.
I miss
Yeah.
summertime.
That was like one of my longest mixes ever.
Yeah.
But
It's like
yeah,
I love the
same here.
season, but I miss the summer.
I love the fall, but even though I'm in LA now, so I don't really get seasons like that anymore, which sucks. But I love the fall weather. But I was born in the fall, so maybe that's why. But I love leaves changing. It's kind of cool outside. You can wear your nice clothes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, fall is
bundle up a little
definitely
bit.
the fashion prime time for me.
Yeah, so I love the fall weather for sure.
cool. I feel like we need to give you a question now.
Oh gosh.
Top product, go. No,
Yes.
that was good.
Top product.
Yeah.
What that mean? Like my favorite product
Yeah.
that I make
Yeah.
or that I sell?
Both. Oh wait, what?
I don't make everything.
The
Well,
one you
that you
make,
that,
I would say.
yeah. Or like which like that's yours that you sell like to people,
Huh?
like from your brand.
What?
Like you know what I mean?
No.
What?
What'd you say?
So what's the difference between like the stuff you make and the stuff you sell?
Well, I make lip gloss. Like we're mixing up lip gloss,
Yeah.
but now I sell an eyeshadow palette and I don't like physically hand
Well, like
make.
out of everything that's yours,
Okay.
like what's your favorite?
Um, mm, Definitely lip gloss because that's like OG from day one. But I gotta pick a color. Do I gotta pick a color? No.
Yeah, what's
My favorite lip gloss color that I have right now. This is hard. Rosé.
Gotcha. Why that one?
It's so pretty. It's like it's a mix between like a pinky, but also like a nude, like beige nude, but it's really shiny, super pretty, and it smells like strawberry shortcake. So it smells really good, super pigmented, and it comes in my new tubes. Oh look, it's actually right here. Hold on, wig. Yeah, I have it right here.
Nice.
So yeah, I love it. Super cute.
Well, that's all the questions.
Oh, that's all the questions? Okay. We have reached the end of the episode. So I want to thank you, Alfred, for being here with me today, sharing a little bit about your story and your journey. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you follow me, Alfred, and Devin on all of our social media platforms. I will have all of that information down below. Make sure you are shopping the Smudge Cosmetics Hello, It's Me Again collection, $1 lip gloss until they sell out, people. So take advantage of it. Make sure you're shopping Crochet by K as well, getting your shags and your sweaters. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. And also make sure you follow me on all of the podcast platforms. Head over to Apple Podcasts, leave me a 5-star rating and a nice review in the review section. I love you all so much, and I will catch you in episode 12. Bye.